Monastic Knights are the backbone of every warlord's barrack, a core unit to take the territory wars. Although slow to ramp up in speed, they are the tankiest cavalry unit in the game, with a devastating charge, tight wedge formation, and strong melee, but should you consider running them every game? I'm Bear Brownies, and in today's video I will be covering if it is worth playing with Monastic Knights in normal siege battles. Although cavalry units themselves have not been nerfed in the past 2 seasons, except for Liao's Rangers, which have been balanced, but that's a discussion point for another video. Anti-cav buffs to pike units and spear class nerf in season 7 has led to a decrease in the use of tier 5 cavalry units during casual siege battles. That's not to say you won't see any tier 5 cav units, but due to leadership constraints and the cost effectiveness of Armiger Lancers, you're unlikely to see Monastic Knights outside of field battles and territory wars. I personally think Monastic Knights are great and fill in a niche that other tier 5 cavalry units don't. They are incredibly tanky, unlike the Hussars, and much more so than the Liao's Rangers, allowing them to not only perform a strong charge, which can be devastating from a good flank, but also to survive. The survivability of Monastic Knights is key, as you will find they are much more forgiving than other cavalry units when you make a mistake. Their tight wedge formation also allows them to perform well in melee, as you can X-move them past units and heroes alike, securing easy kills in 1v1 scenarios against lightly armoured units. Where the Monastic Knights really shine is when you can perform a charge from a flank. With comparable charge damage to Winged Hussars and a city-friendly wedge formation, you'll have no problem making good plays. As for the negatives, other than the obvious, which is that they take much longer to ramp up their speed compared to other cavalry units, is that everything seems to interrupt their charge. They can feel clunky and slow to maneuver at times, and will lose when charging head-on against pikes, pavis and muskets. With their weaknesses in mind, a patient player will be devastating with Monastic Knights. As for whether you should take Monastic Knights into every possible battle, absolutely, if you have no experience with cavalry units. Although Monastic Knights are not an optimal unit to take, the same applies for any other tier 5 unit due to how specialized they generally are and their leadership costs. I do, however, recommend that you play with them as much as possible after you have unlocked them, so that you get a feel for cavalry units as you work your way towards Armiger Lancers, Winged Hussars and Liao's Rangers. Especially the Armiger Lancers, which should be a core unit for any siege battle's warband. You will find a lot of the skills you learned whilst playing with the Monastic Knights are transferable to other cavalry units. Not only this, if you plan on being a competitive player in Conqueror's Blade and partake in territory wars, you will find any experience playing with cavalry units to be invaluable. To summarize, Monastic Knights are still a great starter cavalry unit and are worth using casually, despite being forgotten and foreshadowed by other meta cav units. For more experienced players, I suggest saving Monastic Knights for TW and free battles. This is because in most cases it is much more cost effective to run Armiger Lancers in casual games instead. If you liked this video and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing and clicking the bell icon so you do not miss out on any future videos. If you love using the Monastic Knights and would like to see a dedicated guide, let me know down in the comments below. I also stream regularly on Twitch, so check the description for the link.